Let's start this one off with having a look at the draft. This is 3v3 League Playoff Best of 3, the 6th division, the lowest division for the time being. It will vary from season to season, and it is dying to the bore, relatable for most of us, against boomers. The map selection shows Arenaception as the starting map, and then there's the playoff pool consisting of the maps that were played the least during the group stage. So the playoff pool for Division 6 is Cape of Storms, Arenaception, Kawazan, Otisco, and Land Madness. So the teams, it's a discard system, or first they pick their home map, and then there's a discard system to decide the starting map. So let's have a look at the map picks again here. Dying to the War picks Otisco, and Boomers pick Kawazan, and they're left with Arenaception to play. So they're going to play possibly 3 games. We won't know that for sure until we get around to kicking off the first one. So that's what we're going to do here. First map, Arenaception. It is comparable to Arena, but also quite different. There's potential for different approaches here. Oops, here we go. This is through the oh, come on. Right, there we go. And then buying the War versus Boomers. So they should be happy with an arena style map then. Excuse me. You know what? Let's stick with the standard team colors for now. Let me know if telling the difference between yellow and green becomes too much of an issue, and I'll switch the colors. But actually, this is pretty standard ranked colors, so might as well just keep them. Though I tend to switch the map sometimes. Arenaception, there's some backspace here, so it's open in the back. You could path all the way around. So sometimes you see the players walling up, for example, here for Miss Melissa 25 or further out, just to deny Hoopla entry close to their bases. So that would probably be the approach to make this more of a standard arena game, but as you can see, the wood situation is very limited as well. There's always the potential to push from both sides, which could be confusing here, so you have more to pay attention to than on your regular arena, where all of this would basically be wood. With that out of the way, let's have a look at the civilizations of choice here, and we'll start with Dying to the Boar. Flaming Emu as the Incas. Might be enjoying some Eagles play here. Welcome Zerg Warrior. So Incas, they have a lot of options honestly. They have Slingers against the infantry, they have Kabayuk against cavalry, they have Eagles against archers, they have all the counters. Is there a game on? This is recorded games, it's not best of 7 by the way, it's best of 3. So I got to switch that one. First game in this best of 3 between Dying to the Boar and Boomers. Incas, yeah, so they have lots of responses. Actually, it's good to have Incas against Goths, because you can make the Slingers against Goths, and then Goths will struggle. And if so need be, the Incas have a full blacksmith factory as well for the champions, or the militia line units, so they could go fully upgraded champions and have better champions than the Goths. Now, in the pocket position, we have the Huns here. That is a bit of an off pick for Arena usually, but this is Arenaception. It plays out differently. Honestly, if you go Cav Archers here as the Huns, for example, you're able to break through the backside of the wall somehow, and that kind of mobility makes sense here. So I can see how Huns is a viable pick here, since it's not that tight, fully wooden arena style map. And finally, we have Hoopla with the Italians. Getting that discount, moving up to the ages, 15% discount, which allows for faster Castle and Imperial Ages and potential fast Imperial Age play even with the Italians if need be. Hoopla is up against the Teutons here, and considering that the Italians go Arbalests more often than not, they have the Genoese crossbowmen as well, a ranged unit with bonus damage against cavalry. I don't think it's the worst matchup at all for Italians. Of course, Teutons have better siege. They have siege engineers. They have the ironclad as the unique technology for stronger siege weapons. So if it turns into an Imperial Age siege play, maybe we should favor the Teutons more. But I'd say the Italians have a good matchup here. In the pocket, there's the Goths. The stream is showing. I'll be right back screen. Are you sure? You have to be lagging behind, I think, Sir Warrior. I have the stream up on my other screen here, and it's showing the Capture H overlay to me. That's weird. Maybe it just really is lagging behind. But it's good that you tell me anyway, because if there's really an issue, I'd hope to remedy that as quickly as possible, obviously. Yeah, so Amaranth, not Amaranth, but Amaranth. In the green here as the Goths, going to pump out the infantry, of course. Goths, barracks, team bonus. Team bonus for Goths, the barracks work 20% faster. If you get to perfusion in the Imperial Age, the barracks will work 100% faster on top of that. So you're also... Oh, what's going on here? You're also going to... Oh, and the Goths! Okay, it's the Goths, so it's fine, actually. They carry more hunt, they kill the hunt more quickly. That's a calculated move, I think. Just take out the more quickly and benefit from that higher carry rate, so you'll have a minimum of decay, even if it's killed outside of the TC. Perfusion gives 100% faster working barracks again, so instant infantry creation for Goths can be really annoying if you let them get to that Imperial Age. Finally, in the blue, Socks as the Spanish. I am expecting conquistadors here. That's kind of the Spanish play on these kind of close maps. It's easy for them to get to play a straight fast castle, not worrying about loom, dropping a castle, start pumping out conquistadors, and be plain annoying all over the field, because the conquistadors, they have high attack and they have a ranged attack, so they have such an easy time taking out villagers and other units even. They're really the best response to the small amounts of conquistadors. That's conks, but once you get more out, that's going to be tough for your opponents to handle. Hold on to your hats, this game is a roller coaster. Alright, we like games with a bit of action, so that sounds good to me. We're approaching the feudal ages for both the players here. Sox is probably going 29, yeah, okay, 28 pop, which is fine as well. 28 pop up, no, that's 29 pop actually. And 29 pop feudal, in fact. So Castle Age at 31 maybe then. 2 on stone, 2 on gold. Pretty standard Spanish FC style builder. I'll fast forward it a little bit here because it's an arena style map and I'm running out of things to talk about. Teuton's player dropping a barracks here suggests a blacksmith stable Castle Age, maybe not blacksmith market, as the feudal ages pop in here and most of the players will opt for the blacksmith market. Ooh, there's some action here. Trying to wall off the backside, and Flaming Emu is going to succeed here, but is also being chased down by the scouts of Success here, and whoa, go in, you can snipe villagers here, they don't have loom. Or do they? They do have loom. Because we're going out to wall. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe you'll not side villagers, but at least Sox can confirm that no deer have been pushed, and there's definitely potential to get some idea what the Incas player might be up to here. Eco-wise, they're very similar here. It's 82 to 81, and there's barely any military out on the field. That's just the starting scouts. One barracks up for the Incas here, and queuing that spearman so we can snipe the scout. I love it. Also going to replace the scout here, right? The Eagle Scout is down, so now Flaming Emu can use this spearman to move around and scout a little bit if need be. For example, to confirm that there's walls going up on the south side here. Sox was stonewalling for a bit there, but changed his mind, or their mind, and is going for a double set of palisades being good. That's fine at this stage in the game, to be honest. Yeah, just running around here could still be annoying with that one scout, force a reaction of the villagers, right? That's a healthy farming economy for the Incas as well. Still in the feudal age. While in the yellow side here we have Bloodlines coming in, and we're going to see some Teutons cavalry out on the field. A handy bonus for Teutons to have is the conversion resistance, so all of your units will be, all of your team's units in fact, will be more resistant to conversions. They're all walling off the sides here. Miss Melis here in the back as well with wooden foundations for now. You're always going to need houses anyway. And look at the castle here. It's going down forward here. It's not denying anything of Flaming Emu, but it's also perfectly hidden outside of the walls here as well. So, yeah, actually the scout over here could also help limit any reaction from the red player here. Hoopla is in a bit of a booming mode here, second TC going up, some more houses along the edge as well. Extra safety, even though there's still... Wait, what? What happened here? Maybe he changed his mind about the whole walling thing. So the castle is up for Sox here, the Spanish conquistadors in the making. Going to be a pain in the ass for the Incas player for sure. It looks to me like Flaming Emu wants to go mainly Eagles here. I see Eagle Scouts in production, Castle Age right around the corner as well. Eagles against Conquistadors, that should not be a good one for the Incas, because the Conquistadors, that's a gunpowder unit. They will deal gunpowder damage. And deal easily with the Eagles, that is an infantry unit. That's so fascinating. One tile and one half tile. We just do. Hoopla is the kind of guy that just leaves things half done, it seems. At least in this game. I wonder what preoccupied his mind to just leave one tile like that. Kongs in the making. We also have a second TC, so Sox doubling up on the eco here. Barracks is probably to get the stable down to get the Bloodlands and Husbandry for the Conquistadors. While our Goths player, Goths Pocket, in fact, is only at 2 TCs for now. Of course, as long as the Goths is undisturbed. They'd want to boom on like 3 TCs to get going. Castle going up here, the scout will spot that, I believe. And now it's open, so that, oh, the castle oh yeah, good reaction by Flaming Emu there. Moving the castle a bit further back. I'm not sure how much help that is, to be honest. But there might just be enough military here to allow this castle to go up as well. So that limits the impact of the Conquistadors here. Good decision of Sox to just move back away as well. Didn't lose any units yet, just 4-0 KD for the blue player. Rewalling with stone walls behind here for Flaming Emu, a second layer of walls. Lots of builders going into that, so you would argue that Soxus has done proper damage here, forcing a castle, forcing more stone walls. Essentially limiting the economic advance of the red player over here. So what the Sox can do now is just move on, try to break through at the pockets. Instead, there's not, I guess there's some knights over here, but that's not disaster for the conquistadors. With the knights, you could hit and run always against the knights, so that shouldn't make that huge of a difference to you. I think instead of insisting upon trying to deal damage to red here, you just move on and you try to hit the pocket and even the other flank as well, because you have the mobility in the conquistadors. Just don't linger around too long in one space if you see the defensive castle. That's already damage done, which is why you'd want to consider to move on. Seeing as the Siege Workshop this app, you could consider adding a ram as well to punch through, or cue some petards at your castle or whatever you see fit. Teuton's conversion resistance coming into play here. They don't have husbandry for their cavalry though, so it's harder to outrun the monks as well. But as you can see, that didn't turn into a conversion there. Triple stables for the other... I'm saying Teutons, that's the Huns of course. Never mind. I'm so used to seeing Teutons in yellow for some reason. Hunt stables work 20% faster. That's the team bonus. That's indirectly helping the team as well. Another Inca's castle. They have a stone discount for castles. So the flanking Imbu should be very safe at home base here now until trebuchets enter the area. But yeah, the Teutons, Miss Melis here is dropping the 4th TC, going to assume a significant boom eco lead here once this TC completes. And there's also 2 stables to produce these conversion resistant knights out here. Patient play of Padlin here in the yellow as well to wait for enough knights to engage here. And there are also monks as well that you need to be careful of, but in general might. We're out of here. Help! It's tough to engage against conquistadors with knights alone. You want to have some skirmishers mixed in or something, at least in the cast station, because the skirmishers deal bonus damage. Sox is insisting here. Really wants Incas out of the game, but seems to have some personal agenda against the Incas here, and only pushing one side. Again, I feel like that castle would make more sense close to the Teutons, no, the Huns base, the yellow base. I'll keep saying Teutons because I just expect them to be yellow for some reason, but Padlin's base, safe and sound here at home. 2 TCs pumping out villagers consistently and dying to the boar. They are with a slight eco lead here. Actually, it's quite similar, but military-wise they are ahead as well, which is going to come in handy. Eagles, not the proper response to conquistadors, but maybe they can come in handy against other stuff on the field here, remains to be seen. These aren't your typical go-to. Yeah, Italians maybe would be making the crossbow line unit, but we'll see. Knights in the numbers here now, and behind this we have Hoopla with the Italians going faster to the Imperial Age as well, as you'd expect from the Italians. Padlin pulling back towards the castle here, maybe aiming towards the Imperial Age and the Cavalier Paladin with the Huns as well. Tries to dive in here. Do we have husbandry? We don't, but that's probably the case for our Spanish player as well, right? Maybe. Might be in for the conks. Let's have a quick look here. No, only Bloodlines, which is arguably more important. It gives more HP. Defensive castle now for Miss Melis, but that doesn't matter when dying to the war, or Hoopla rather, has the Imperial Age kicking in just now. should definitely start queuing the trebuchets now. The Genoese crossbowmen, they will be doing just fine against the cavalry play here. Yeah, Treb and conscription on the way. Conscription that boosts all kinds of production from your buildings. Also the upgrades, you know. DC number 4 for the Goths. This is a beautiful Goths boom going on here. Amaranth could turn this around with the Goths spam, but generally speaking, the boomers are living up to their name here. They're adding TCs, they're extending the economy, and that's going to show as they move on through to the Imperial Age here as well. Not a huge lot of fighting going on here. You can see the Hans player adding a 4th TC as well to further extend that. A little bit of Goths assistance here with the Conquistadors, but something needs to happen here. We need Imperial Age and Trebs to start pushing here. The Incas player far behind for the time being. And we'll see the first Treb queued any moment here, right? What's the... There could have been some wood issues here for Sox, but... That's it. First Treb is out for Hoopla here, and Miss Melis just can't dive in here against this Trebuchet because there's Genovese crossbow here to meddle in terms of that bracer on the way in. That could be why Hoopla is holding off on the attack here. Looks like he wants to... I was going to say add Arbalists here as well, but that's hand cannoneers, and that... I mean, why not? If you have chemistry in and you have these option, you might as well, which means that we might see some bombard cannons for Hoopla as well as we move on here. Does he know about the knights, by the way? He sees the knights, right? Thanks to the trap slide. Beautiful choke point there for the Genoese to hide in, and Miss Melis will be needing some help from the friends here to do this. But the answer, however, that lies in the Goths here, who just reached the Imperial Age as well. Huscarls in the making. If you get Anarchy from the castle as well, you get to produce Huscarls out of your barracks, and you could easily overrun a small group of 14 Genoese crossbowmen with the Huscarls here. Are we out of stone, or what's going on here? I guess Flaming Emu wants to conserve the stone for gold. Or setting up a trade route. Trade wall. The trade route wall. And here's the other. Yeah, that's going to be decent. That's more than corner to corner, actually. That could be a really good one behind the walls here. Until it gets compromised, that is. Almost feels almost early to commit to trade at this point, because there's still lots of gold on the map in the backsides of the bases as well, which I have scouted. But it's always handy to have the option, of course. But then it's peculiar to me that there aren't any stone walls behind this. So it should be fairly easy for boomers to break through here and stop that trade from this angle. Oh, enter the Hunnic Cavaliers here. The Conquistador numbers, they aren't exactly scary. We're getting Elite Conquistador from 10 Conquistadors here. Eagles moving in here as well, and the Castle's about to go down for both players here, but there's way more Spanish trebuchets here. But look at the army numbers. Sox maybe a bit overconfident here against the two opponents on the flank side. The Cavaliers and Eagles alone will deal with this castle with a little bit of help with the Treb over there. And the 5 trebuchets going down just like that for the Spanish as well. And suddenly Sox is in a bad spot here. 3 TCs, 414 villagers. Yeah, Broom is still decent, but you need to make a switch here now. I guess you go into Spanish Paladin, which is on the way here, because Spanish have the equal upgrades to the Huns. They just can't quite match the production speed. That's 1 out of 2 forward castles down though. And what was we... Why were we getting Elite Conquistador here? For the few numbers that were out. I mean, I guess it still makes sense against the Eagles. That could be why. Alright, let's get back to Hoopla's side and see what's going on there. We have 2 Goths castles up here. Elite Huscarls in the making. No Anarchy, by the looks of it. No barracks almost. Just 1. Halberdiers in the queue. Yeah, more barracks coming up now. I can only assume that Perfusion is in already with the kind of economy that we have had running here. Let's move H and economy text and have a look at that. Where's perfusion? I guess it's on the more expensive side. Oh, we have conscriptions as well to stack upon that impact. Padlin, the Hunt's Pocket, doing work with the mobility of the paladins here. Look at the numbers as well. 45 paladins and there's not nearly enough Goths paladins here to Goths halberdiers here to help in the efforts. I mean, yes, there are some Huskarls here, but there's 40 paladins to deal with these Huskarls. That shouldn't be an issue. That shouldn't be an issue, and they're also lacking that last armor. Not that matters too much, but still something to consider. Conquistadors and Cavalier on this side. We might see Spanish paladins here as well. But the Eagles are doing work. Eagles have a tiny bit of bonus damage against Cavalry as well. If you look at this, it's 3 bonus damage against Cavalry. Hand Cannoneers. I guess Hoopla got into the Hand Cannoneers because they're up against the Goths here as well. I think that makes sense. A little bit some blue aggression. Good raids by Sox here. There's 100 villagers still for the Incas. Trade not quite commenced. More markets coming up here, but that's also at risk of being contested here in the backside. Why, this does not look good for the Teutons. And Boomers, they're losing their Paladin player here. Yes, there are some Cavaliers in the queue, but that's not going to do too much here with this kind of pressure. Lots of resources in the bank, not that much gold for Boomers, but they're 1 player down at this point. 44 villagers for military for the teal player, as the Hand Cannoneers and the Genoese will try to contest the Goths masses here. See a new defensive castle going up at the Inca's base as well. Looks like the aggression has been halted on this side. It's only a matter of time before we get that paladin upgrade from the Spanish. Though, look at missing 200 gold to afford that. Flaring the corners here from dying to the board. They really want to get that trade running, and they're trying to get the absolute most out of the trade route as well. Slinging going on here, that's allowed in the Imperial Age as well. Padlin with the 53 eco kills, that's ridiculous. Thanks for the follow, Zerg Warrior. They're not going to let the Teutons get back here anytime soon, and we see Miss Melis here relocating to the backside. No trade route for the Boomers here. This could be the deciding point of the game if they are not able to access gold through trading, but for the time being as well, dying to the war, they are dominating the teal player. However, the Goths player, strictly speaking, hasn't been touched. The Spanish player hasn't been touched. So they still should have healthy economies running here. In fact, they're floating quite a bit of resources at this time, while still not fighting at top cap. No, the trade cars are going out in the open. Okay, that's probably why it would probably be better to have the markets in the corner. Then I think the general idea is to have a longer. Yeah, there we go. They delete the markets. They're going to rebuild them in the corner. That should ensure a more efficient pathfinding. Look at Hoopla's army size here. It's 50 Hand Cannoneers and 22 Genoese. So we're not joking around with the Italians here, as they're both the flank and opposing flank are placing their forward castles positioning in the middle of the map as well. While Miss Melis has lost 89 villagers and is in full reboot mode at this point. Claiming a little bit of a side as well. This could become a sneak attack at Hoopla's side. Hoopla did, of course, wall this area, but that's not to say you can't break through with some kind of siege weapon there and cause some distress on the purple player's base. It is fascinating to see the Italians player match the Goths player in military numbers though. That is a lot of Hunnic Paladins out and about. 67 Paladins and counting. Even the Halberdier mass isn't too threatening at this point. Now the Spanish paladins are out as well, and they're keeping up her illumination coming in for the monks of the Spanish player. That's going to have them regain faith more quickly, I think. Hunt player is everywhere. Paladin is Paladin. It's similar names. It's still a good fight for Dying to the Boar. Look at the army numbers here. They're well ahead in population here is 153 to 73. And just taking the good fights here. If you look at the overall KD, that's kind of ridiculous at this point. Flaming Emu with a -1, granted, after that early Spanish pressure. But 288 to 84 and 223 to 83, that's pretty amazing. You'd expect the Goths to be at the negative. They just spew out units like there's no tomorrow. But still a testament to good fights judgment here, if we could call it that, for Dying to the Boar. Looks like we have elite cavalry on the way for the Incas. I like that approach, since we now have the Spanish player playing the Paladins. That's back to the Incas' possibilities of their wide tech tree, right, and their potential counters. Good tech to go into, and there's 3 castles to produce from as well. So that's good work from Flaming Emu and going back into the game to contribute here. Some armies idling out though. Oh, still the trade cards going out. It's probably because they started out down there. I think Flaming Emu needs to lock this gate and wall this section here to make sure the trade cards path around the right way. 9 trade cards, and they're just going wide out in the open. Another option could be for Dying to the Boar to somehow wall off the full middle side here. That happens on these arena maps sometimes, to secure resources. Now what? Spanish paladins on the move. 48 paladins to 63 paladins is still the paladins numbers lead for the Huns player. Hand cannoneers beyond counting in my eyes here. It's a lot of them, but now the onlookers from the Goths, because Teuton's player is still out of the game. I guess if you sling Teutons here, that would probably be better, because Teutons get siege on here, they get ironclad. So just sling Bismalis some gold, and let Bismalis do the siege here. I think to be useful. That could have been an option. Big fights in the middle here. Some Genoese still at work, not nearly enough to make a particular difference here, but the paladin numbers, they're reaching a point where they're quite similar in numbers. Lots of stables here for the Spanish, and more barracks from the Goths. Of course, we do have perfusion. I need to double check again. I really hope I'm missing something here. If maybe it's a different tech tree. No. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it just actually just kicked in perfusion. So now look at the Goths production. Almost instant creation of units here. I think Dying to the Boar needs siege of their own now as well against this Goth's mass of units. Some pure splatter shots by the onagers. I guess they don't get siege onagers. They're really lacking in the siege department here. Huns even, they don't even get onager, right? So the only player who could, I mean, I guess you get onager as the Incas, probably as the Italians as well, but who plays pop capped and is providing the hand cannoneers here. That's not going to be enough when you get onagers in your face though. A couple of splatter shots and you lose all of your armies here. So Dying to the Boar, they need siege of their own. The Goths player is spamming out units, and look at the KD here, just losing heap of units as they flood out for the barracks here. Thanks for the follow, Socks. One trebuchet stays alive for Hoopla here, going to deal with at least one of the Goth's forward castles here. Haven't seen any bomber cannons added yet. That could also be useful against these clumped up masses of units. Trade line running for dying to the boars. That could be the key point to winning for them, as boomers haven't set up trade yet. Our Tudors player, however, is booming back into it a little bit here, making some cavaliers, albeit not nearly enough. And now suddenly the Spanish paladins are trading very well here. Hoopla left with only hand cannoneers here. Hunt's player with 9 paladins only! And dying to the border, losing their army mass here. Hoopla is moving out into very dangerous territory here to mine some gold, but he really just needs that trade to kick in, to be honest. He moves back closer to home to take the stone instead. Seems a bit safer. Exclusively hand cannoneers and Genoese for Hoopla here. The Kamayuks have entered the field. And Flaming Emu really ready to contribute here. Oh, love that formations. And guarding the trebuchets over there, that's beautiful. Dealing with that one Spanish castle. Let's see if we can see anything about the relics here. Sox, 1 relic, Padlin, 1 relic. Hasn't really been a priority here. Understandably enough with all the fighting going on. Now, what are we looking at here? Look at the army numbers. It's dead similar. But at this point, I feel like Hoopla... I mean, there's stone walls, but I feel like you could get fortified wall or something extra just in case, just to further secure that trade. Yeah, look at the sneak around here. That's why it backfires not to have stone walls in the backspace here. Flaming Emu will be raided from behind. And that is going to catch Flaming Emu off guard. I think there's still the Kamayuks from the castle. Some of them could be tasked back. You could deal with these raids, but we really need stone walls here. Or here maybe, just to make sure the trade doesn't get hit. Honestly, I feel like Sox could have gone straight for the trade as well. That matters a whole lot more than the actual in-base economy at this point. I guess you still need food for the Kamayuks, so this is a good raid as well. Big fights in the middle, that's probably why they're not really paying attention at home base. Playing Emu is going to lose a lot here, but has a whooping 78 elite Kamayuks out as well. And the potential to snag 3 relics here for further gold trickle. Teal, Miss Melis is also now back into the game, sort of. 67, Eco 27, military. Not bad at all. But now these blue dots, Hussars coming in as well, they're gonna raid the trade, aren't they? The map name is here, but you can't see the full of it. It's called Arenaception. It's from T&D, that means Terra Nova Duos. That's the map pack. So it was used in Nova's recent tournament. Oh, that's a lot of blue raids inside of Flaming Emu's economy. Let's go back to the eco situation. 69 builders lost, 16 killed at some point, but Hussar flood. We need to plug this. We need to stop this from happening, and there might just not be builders left to make that happen. It's just flooding in the raids from the Spanish stables in the back here, and now they're in the trade as well. And let's go back to the trade stats. These numbers are going to diminish quickly here, and now in the meantime we have boomers having started the trade on their side, and they're certainly kind of safe to have stone walls on either. They're actually not walled on. They're actually not wall on this side. There's just some houses and palisades here. That's nothing too particular. And the Hoopla Mat says, we haven't spotted the raid yet. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts a lot. But at least there should still be gold in the bank, right? Oh, maybe not. Oof. Oof. We need some Albertiers in the back here with Kamuyuks ASAP. Now Paladin has spotted it. Sends all of the Paladins back to deal with this. That's... oh, that hurts. That hurts. They need to re-wall this! Wall them back! Don't allow these raids to continue. It's a free flood of Hussars just diving in and killing everything that's called trade to the left-hand side. And Cannoneer still doing work in the middle, but as Dying to the Boar loses military, when or if they do, they'll struggle a lot to replenish them. And after the raids, Flaming Eevee has been taking serious losses as well. 79 eco units left here now. Trade numbers, they've been in the 30s, now it's diminishing over here. But Kamuyuks pushing the Spanish base as well, and all of the Spanish units are out raiding the trade routes. So a couple of traps here, they could do proper damage to the blue base. I guess some of these yellow dots are paladins chasing... Markets are down. Did they... I guess they killed the markets. Yeah, no more trade for Dying to the Boar. But they keep pushing in the middle area, so they're trying to push several angles at the home bases and not worry too much about raids. They do have a massive military lead after all, and the Goths player is under duress here now at home base, not really contributing too much military to the field. At least not as much as you'd expect a Goths player to do. Yeah, no more trade for Dying to the Boar over here. Still healthy army number 81 hand cannoneers for Hoopla. What's the Goths gonna do about that at all? What's the Goths player gonna do about that? Sorry about the lag, I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it. I think that's just the nature of 3v3. When it gets to this point, fighting at huge mass in... while running capture reach as well. So the champions are in for the Goths here now. That's a bit peculiar because actually elite Kamuyuks in mass, they should be dealing decently. Well, I guess there's more champions for Goths, so never mind. Might just work, but now, man, Flaming Eevee can't really transition into champions of his own. And that would be the response to seeing the Goths playing champions, tech into champions of your own, but the raids just really demolished the economy of Flaming Eevee here. No more trade for Dying to the Boar. They are slightly behind in economy, slightly behind in total population, massively behind in economy, which means that when or if they lose their precious armies here, they are going to struggle to replenish the units. That's just probably the mass of hand cannoneers. An absolute ton of them. 83 as far as I can see here. And stop motion movement here. Podlin says check out those paladin numbers. Woo. I guess the trade kicked in enough to mass a decent chunk of paladins here. 113 paladins to Mainly trash for the other team, but there are lots of halberdiers here as well, so no matter how many paladins you have, if they are able to replenish their halberdiers, you will lose your army. Look at the military value though. Look at the military value. It's more than double for dying to the war here. The home bell is rung. Panic mode to try and keep the paladins out here. Hand cannoneers and paladins working together. Boomers, can they hold this off? They're losing military as well. It's hussar spam for the blue player now. That's not going to contribute too much against this army combo, because we still have almost 80 paladins here. Maybe paladin is floating resources as well. Could sell wood for gold and still pump out more if need be. Rewalling in effect for Flaming Emu at home base as well. So that's nice to see. That keeps the raids out. Make that the 15th prep I've lost. That's hoopla. Yeah, that's tough call. 82 paladins still on the field and counting. Goth's player at 58 military. You'd rather want to see them at 100 plus at this stage in the game. And the worker efficiency, can we see it here? Pretty darn low for the green player. Now basically just resorted to chasing paladins, which are admittedly out of position from the hand cannoneers here. And Hoopla is losing most of his, or Hoopla rather, is losing his hand cannoneers now. This is the bit of a miscommunication in the team here. I think the paladins need to stay close to the hand cannoneers route, so the hand cannoneers can take out the halberdiers, but when they don't, they're pretty darn fragile units, and the trash unit, the Hussar of Socks, cleans up the hand cannon mass. Lots of food in the bank for Hoopla, but I guess the market trade rates aren't anything too particular here. Yeah, 13 food for... No, 13 gold for 100 food now, so might not be viable to trade off. Trade is running for Boomers now. They have established a significant military lead now. 203 eco, 350 in eco. Boomers back in the game. Teutons, Miss Melis here with 80 halbs and counting. And those are 2 tonic halbs. You don't mess around with those. When they're fully upgraded, they have an extra 2 melee armor as well, because of the Teutons bonus. So they will deal very nicely with any cavalry investment of your opponents. Down to 31 paladins now for Padlin, and Hoopla, wanting to deal with the castle to the side here, tries to get some damage in here. Hello, friends, and thanks for the raid to Silver Girl. Welcome everyone. This is my 3v3 league. It's open to all Lilos. And this is the lowest division, the 6th division, and the playoff. So it's they're playing a best of 3 to reach the final, which will be best of 5. And the map pool consists of the 5 maps that were played the least in the group stage. Shout out to the Sox for the raid. Yeah, thanks for the raid indeed. I appreciate to have more people coming in here. This is a very eventful game. It was actually Hoopla's recommendation, so to speak. So thanks for the follows, everyone. Must be confusing to hear my horn recording of the alert sound, right? Because it's basically the same as the in-game. But hope you can tell the difference between the game and my personally created sound. That goes for the raid alert as well. Just recording mashup I made up at some point a couple of years ago. Figured it would work. These raids are never gonna end, are they? The Spanish player, the Hussars, back in here. Now some builders moving out as well. Yes, they won't be getting too far, but here goes the Siege Workshop to break through. Top side, Hoopla is pushing with the Treb here, but his Genoese, they are being focused on by Halberdiers here for the Tools. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Finds kind of a choke point here, but I think Miss Melis here with the ridiculous 100 Halberdiers here, Teutons, mind you, will take out ranged units and a Treb up here, and it's a traffic jam up here with the Huskarls and the Halberdiers moving out. Hope you had a nice stream, Silver Girl. Thanks for the raid again. It's much appreciated. So we're gonna see siege rams eventually from Sox, probably. Yeah, there's lots of food in the back. There's no reason not to get siege ram here. That only costs food, but obviously you need population space as well. So that could be a hindrance there. Looks like we have a trade running for dying to the war again. Now it's Kabayuks. Looks like they're dragging the trade card along here. At least, you know, we're gonna take your job here. Just take it easy. We got you covered. Nick Paladin's back at it here. They'll, of course, deal easily with the Huskarls and the Hussars, but the mass of Teuton's Paladins still an issue. Almost 200. Did I say Paladins? Halberdiers is what I meant to say. Jeez, second language is tough, people. Now for some Hussar raids again. We're 1.5 hours into this first game here. That's ridiculous. Looking forward to some home map action after this. Only a matter of time before the cap drives break through on this side. Who gets siege ram below? And looks like we have some Goths aggression back on the field here now, spamming out the units again here. Now that's where Goths where you want to see them, right? More military than eco. And sheer army numbers now for Boomers. They're almost triple the army of Dying to the War. It's like 300 military to 100 here, and Dying to the War's trade. Don't think it's kicked back in yet. They have gold access. They have gold access, so that certainly helps out. But this is a massive, massive push against Hoopla's home base now. They want to be rid of the Italians, the hand cannoneer player here. Hussar raids to the left-hand side from Sox as well. Look at the eco kills here. That says something about raid efforts here. C-Tram is in, and the Kabayuks, they have to pull back home to deal with the raids here. They're just killing the market again. They're making the shortcut here to stop the trade from efficiently working up top. I think this is Boomer's game. It's been real roller coaster, as they say, back and forth game here, but now they're really upping it here. There's lots of trash out on the field. But it's army numbers, it doesn't matter. Almost 3 times the military, and Dying to the War, they've lost their trade several times. After the initial aggression of Boomers and the counter push from Dying to the War, I didn't necessarily expect this, but here we are. Hoopla with the 308 hand cannoneers, which is frankly ridiculous, and then Hussars, less surprisingly for Sox. Almost 500 in number. Not exactly an early GD, no, you. You did what you could. Solid stuff here. I think it comes back down to spotting the raid zone and not stonewalling this side from Flaming Emu. Unfortunately, that really backfired. That's a good game sense of Sox there to see that opportunity in the back run in from the run in from behind and raid. Sounds kind of nasty to say it that way, but I'll say it anyway. Now let's browse through the stats and scores here, and we'll find game number 2 next. Look at the KD. Hoopla, at least with a very convincing KD here. 1506 to 618. Not usually you see these numbers. That's almost 3 to 1 KD. And Goffs, they always waste units like that, so that's not that big of a deal. As far as economy goes, we have the Spanish, the boomers here, again living up to their name. Higher economy, and somehow they had the most trade profit as well. Probably just more trade units to work, right? Up times here, pretty conventional arena, fast castle, semi-fast Imperial Age, and we'll have a look at the APM chart. I have no idea what's going on here, but it must be some paladin dancing or something to dodge shots. This means we're going to dying to the Boar's home map. I think that was Otisco, but let's go back to check again. Otisco it is indeed. And yeah, we could of course look at the draft again. Exclamation mark draft for the drafted civs. Could be of interest for people here. Here we are. This is Otisco. It's a custom map made by Tech Chariot, not for this league in particular, but for his community games among other things. This looks quite deceiving since we're not starting with villagers, but in fact, you need to delete this ox wagon to spawn your villagers. And looks to me like boomers will have one player settling in the corner and have the other two fight for water. This is kind of developing as the Otisco meta. Like, one player gets the free boom far away in the edge, and the other two go for the water. So in this case, it's Padlin with the Burgundians here, great booming civilization, and Amaranth with the Malians, a very flexible civilization overall. For Otisco, they start with a Chan Bardai as well, which is essentially your scout, but he, although he doesn't have any attack, he has the ability to heal your units, so that's something that the players have discovered along the way. Okay, so Miss Mel is settling somewhere in between here. Still, oh, that's going to be annoying actually, because I think these wolves are going to start chasing the villagers as you take the woodlands. This might hurt. This could hurt a lot once you get too close to the wolves. And Sox with the Japanese here settling relatively close to the waters here, so definitely going to benefit from that faster working Japanese fishing ships. Now let's have a look at dying to the Boar's civilizations here. We have Lam Alarm with the Byzantines here, faster firing fire galleys. All of the trash options in the game, some of them at a discount. And only missing bloodlines for obvious reasons, because they're a unique unit. The Cataphract just shouldn't be able to get that at all. Because it's a very strong unit in the first place. But yeah, Byzantine is going to settle for the water here. Probably Hoopla as well, who also has settled dangerously close to the wolves here. I wonder why they do that. Maybe the wolves don't auto-attack or something, but this is just... On both sides here, this looks like a disaster waiting to happen to me. Alright, so back to the saves here. Hoopla with the Vietnamese. Aside from the Rat Archer being very quick and flexible, unique unit, you also get to see the positioning of the opponents. So they know that Amaranth wants to get that free boom going, and they also know that the other two are a bit closer. Miss Melis is Magyars, so he should be safe from wolves. Yeah, they one-shot wolves. It's still an annoyance though. It tears on your economy working. So that's the Vietnamese. Their economy upgrades don't cost wood as well, which is useful. Puddling with the Burgundians, as mentioned. Great booming potential here. Discount at the stable, but no bloodlands for the Burgundians. Also for obvious reasons, because they get Cavalier in the Castle Age at a discount, so you can't give them bloodlines as well. That would be too much. Magyars for Bismalis. I mean, there's lots of small elevations all over this map. So fully upgraded Cav Archers from the Magyars here, that would just be a dream scenario, wouldn't it? Of course, they have fully upgraded Paladins as well. So that could be used to their benefit. So I think that's it for the civilizations. We have the Japanese player docking already. Lamalar, not so much. These will start showing in the eco situation, and the green player, most villagers of all, after settling very early down in the corner here. There's hunt to be taken, there's berries. You'll be fine even without the fish, but looking at the sheer amount of fish and the extra neutral resources in the middle here as well, it just makes sense to fight for and keep water on this map. Let me speed this up a bit, because this is indeed a nomad start. At the very least, we're not going to see much happening until the feudal age. Yeah, not actively scouting, that's obviously fine. Dock is up for the Byzantine player as well, and for Hoopla, so that's 2 players to 1 on water here, if both Hoopla and Lavalarm decide to fight for water. If they scout though, they'll see only the blue player over here. So they'll know that they don't need to invest a lot in the naval fighting. Even a 3rd dock for the Japanese coming up here. And really wants to claim that fish and keep it working for obvious reasons. That the food economy is concerning though. Sox seems to struggle to find enough food to go to the next stage. That's why he's making so much fish as well, and that could really backfire now that our Byzantines and Vietnamese players are approaching the next age here. We should be seeing some fire galleys in the queue now. That's 3 fire galleys out of 3 docks for the red player as well. So Lavalar hasn't scouted the extent of the Japanese docks here. That's something you'd want to do while on the way to the feudal age, to know how much you want to invest to win the water. But looking at the amount of fishing ships here from the Japanese, you definitely want to take those out, and they are twice as strong as your usual fishing ships as well. So you really need some extra naval efforts to contest that. Looks to be like Lavalar is their designated naval fighter though. Feudal Age still not in for Sox here. Could almost go past him probably off the resources here. Why did they lose 2 villagers? I missed that. Could have been probably been wolves, right? Oh well, let's have a look at the fire galleys here. Lama Alarm should probably expect them to have docks on the other side here. In the background here we also have the Malians player going to the Castle Age, well ahead of everyone else here. Seeding some more farms and will be dropping probably 2 more TCs to get that land economy rolling for the green player. Malians, they have access to Farimba in the Imperial Age, so they get +5 attack for their cavalry, but that's also why they don't have the last melee attack, because that would be very OP if they got even more from importing blast furnace. Yeah, I don't remember, but for that last attack upgrade, since they also have the PS armor on their infantry benefiting them. 3 fire galleys and 3 fire galleys, but this should still be the Byzantines. If you react quickly enough here as Lava Alarm, you should win it, because the Byzantines, they fire more quickly. Just okay, I guess it's too late since you've taken damage already, but given the faster fire rate, that could have been viable to try and take out at least one of them. But there's more fire galleys on the way. Lava Alarm was up earlier to the next stage after all. Did manage to take out some fishing ships as well, so Sox's economy is being compromised here. However, 43 eco units is already a lot for the Japanese at this stage. Ooh, Padlin is going to scouts here with the Burgundians. Interesting approach with mass scouts here, considering that the Bloodlines upgrade is not an option, but looks like we're getting the attack upgrade to more easily snipe villagers. However, Sox is already walled at home base here, and that should be keeping the scouts aggression out, no problem. Maybe they saw the uptime of Yellow Man, but that this has to be some kind of a scouts play. With this faster firing rate here again, really trading well against the Japanese, but is fighting right next to the reinforcements as well. That's dangerous. I like the addition of demolition ships here, or demolition rafts rather. That could help you take out fish, but it also helps you diminish the hit points of the fire galleys of your opponent. Some scout archers coordination here. Good market wall from Sox here, but they have +1 attack, so you might just be able to break through here. Could loop an archer around here, try to reach the builder as well, but I guess we'll need to try and break through somewhere else, through the house, through the palisades. Naval, it's like the big old naval battle here, but I like how Lava Alarm is also focusing down fish at the same time. Only 9 fish left for the Japanese, and it's been idle for a while. 12 eco units lost. Great aggression of water by dying to the war, and this is costly for Sox as well. You need to replace the fire galleys, and well, to be fair, there's 10 on gold, but that might just not be enough to keep up here regardless. I think Hoopla and Padlin are going to be able to break through here now. They're really piling on the aggression here now, while also going Castle Age, the two of them, to unlock Cavalier for the Burgundians and Crossbow for the Vietnamese. Let me have a look and see if Hoopla is collecting some. It's not going to go into Rat and Archers just yet, but Crossbow, Arbalest, that's obviously also a strong play for the Vietnamese. Good aggression against the boomers here, and Sox is in trouble. The two teammates, they've already started trade actually. Look how slowly this goes! But I think the trade cards yield a bit more gold, so that's that at least is helpful. Defense is in for the scouts as well, which means that fighting the scouts with villagers, that's a whole lot more difficult. The archers are pathing around, maybe a little bit unfortunate from Hoopla there, but yeah, they're really incapacitating the Japanese now, which means that our blue player will also not be able to hold the water. It's going to struggle big time for food economy here. Magyar's player is in the cast stage. The Malian's player is in the cast stage as well, but it's the Magyar's player providing some knights here now. Should at least clean up the archers pretty easily. Hello there, Shakuni. Thanatos, yeah, that's me. Correct. Though at this point, I feel like Lava Alarm's getting War Galley here. That's just not something you need to get. I think it just got... No, it didn't get cancelled actually, but I'd say at this point you don't need it. You won water. There's no way Sox gets back on water here with the current economy at work. The efficient ships are idle. They're just taking up pop space at this point. Yes, the land aggression has been cleaned up, but they've been doing great damage as well. 5, 5, and 11 in the Eco KD department here. No economy units lost whatsoever for dying to the war. They are behind. No, not behind. They're just slightly ahead in the economy, even with all these kills. And that's probably because the micromanagement and the work they've been doing has been taking a drain on their eco management at home. More TCs coming up for Hoopla here, claiming the stone. We might see Rat and Archers eventually here. The docks are going down for the Japanese, and look at Sox. Sox is still in the feudal age. Could be going to the castle age in not too long. While in the behind this, we have the Malians player going for the swordsman approach. So he wants to get into the champs cards, as they are nicknamed, the Malians champions, because they have 3 extra pierce armor. Army economy being out there. Actually, Sox misses the second building to go up as well. So that's of concern with regards to getting to the castle age. Really behind here now in the progression. As the Byzantine player has even added some war galleys here to further control the shoreline here. Healthy numbers of Vietnamese crossbows up and about here, and the forward siege workshop going up as well, and they will be joined by the Burgundians Cavaliers soon enough. Just about to be fully upgraded as well. It looks like Padley wants to commit to taking out most of the wolves here before moving on. I like how the war galleys are being used. I guess you could use the fire galleys as well, but they're being used to make an opening on the right hand side here on Sox. And there's nothing Sox can do to stop this except for maybe the knights diving in here. But yeah, the galleys will keep them away. Good tower on the gold to further secure that for Sox, delay the aggression. So the two teammates can still boom away at home. What's the trade situation like here now? Yeah, it's only 5 trade units. That's nothing too particular going on over here. Long swords at a blind move as well. It's a bit confusing seeing the mass of crossbows and cavalry on the field that you'd want to go for the crossbows here, but there might be some benefit to it. Now Mangonel is out as well, but the Magyars player not near the amount of army needed to keep up with Burgundy. So look at that, you could actually didn't even need to break the walls here, you could have actually passed on the shoreline all along here to get through. Padlin is going to dive in here, going to take out the tower for the crossbows maybe. The Mangonel at risk of being sniped by the knights here. That's actually a good snipe by the Magyars player. But the crossbows will disallow the knights from getting close enough to the second Mangonel popping out. I think these cavaliers, if they spot this castle going up, they'll be able to stop it. But yeah, the damage being done on Sox here is still huge. Still in the Feudal Age technically, it's 10 seconds left for the Castle Age. Malian's player trying to drop a castle forward here, but I think if the villagers move through here, they're just going to run into wolves, right? So they can't get there. They can't get there to drop the castle. Hello, Tech Chariot. The map maker is in the chat. I have to give him a notification, of course, when the maps are being played. Send the hate, exactly. It can't be that hated since it's been played like 15 times in the league total or something. Yeah, that's been happening several times actually, that only one player settles near the shoreline and the other two settle down over there. But that's the starting TC of Miss Melis, so that's uncomfortably close to the wolves, if you ask me. Looks like 2 villagers are going to make it here. Maybe that's all you need to get this castle up. It's awkward to play, so that's why you picked it. I think it would be awkward to play for anyone. Oh, Rip Villager. Oh, Castle at only 120 HP here. If the Cavaliers see this, are they gonna see it? Are they gonna see it? Longswords, no threat to the Cavalier at all. Just read them, but spot the castle, find the castle. If you kill this foundation, that's 650 stone on the rain. Look at this, yeah, they see it now. They should be seeing it. They should be, okay. Good save from Amaranth there. Taking out the castle. Farimba is coming in for Amaranth. There's farming equal to justify Stable's spam for sure. But they're losing one of their teammates. 27 equal for Sox. Sox could get defeated here. Sox could get freaking defeated. It's very low villagers. 19 villagers only, and most of them are here. That's 11. And I guess some of them made it over. Yeah, they're fleeing, but there's no space to reboom here. Okay, that's a little bit. So Dying on board with a whooping 152 military to 15 there. They're dominating now. They have twice the population, and there's no way they're giving away this game. This is significant push going on there. These woodlands, you need to chop through them before you can move over to the other side here as well. So unless you have onagers, which is obviously an option in the Imperial Age for the Malians, and you could punch through and get away that way, but for the time being, they're looking at a very strong extended Castle Age push here, about to be continued into Imperial Age. Let's have a look at the stone count of... Yeah, Hoopla and Lava Alarm both have stone enough for castles. They're going to drop them forward and send some preps along. Cataphracts for the Byzantines, I like that as well, because they have seen the longswords of the Malians. So that's probably why the Cataphracts are entering the field. Yeah. Huge map control for Dying to the War now. They are making the reboom even a little bit more awkward for Sox as well, killing the market, because then you can't transition the resources until you drop a new market. I want to see some trebuchets here now. I don't know if they know about the castle. Yeah, they know about both the castles. So they're going to deal with that. That's a significant amount of knights here for the Magyars, but that doesn't help when it's Castle Age knights against Imperial Age. Soon to be... Okay, it's a while away still. It's 2 minutes 20 seconds, but Padlin and Hoopla don't need to risk anything yet. My worker efficiency is 40%. Yeah, true. That is... This is an issue on maps like this, but when you're fighting, of course you want to focus on the army management as well. Yeah, I think they just have longer walking distances in the heat of the moment here. These workers. So we have 50 seconds to go. Padlin shouldn't take any engagement here unless he absolutely needs to. It's 3 armies collected here, by the way, against essentially only one of the Magyars. We have the Malians heavy camels with Farimba in the back there as well. But look at this. forming a Cavalier wall with the Burgundians here, allowing the crossbows to fire from behind. They're just about to become armless. They have Bracewind already, and the castles are going down. I feel like we need some bombard cannons for added mobility here, in addition to the crabs, but it's still a great fight. Plague Guardian coming in, probably Paladin as well, right? Should be affordable. It's a half cost for the Burgundians. And a sizable amount of Vietnamese arbalists here as well. Look at this beautiful collected army here. Don't think boomers have found a way through the woodline yet. They need onagers or cut through for that. That woodline might just do it, but clock is definitely ticking here. They're way behind. There's 200, almost 300 population behind. And a massive military difference here. Yes, we have Parimba camels from the Malians here, but that doesn't help when you have shit tons of arbalists behind the soon-to-be paladins here. Hello Didi, welcome! These players are... Would you say you guys are in the 1000-1100 elo range, Hoopla? I think so. You could do exclamation mark rank and the players' nicknames individually to see it, but this is the 6th division of my 3v3 league, so they are looking at average ratings, they are the lowest rated teams in the league. Okay, so 1000 to 1200s maybe, or 900 to 1200s. Yeah, but that's a good spread. That's a lot of army indeed as well. It's like 4 times the army for dying to the board now, and they're gonna demolish now. I don't think there's any way back here. They've had that benefit of a fish crew the whole time as well. And why the heck does Hoopla only have 9 fish? They have 1 water, they have all of this fish to take, and they don't even go for it. That's even another addition to your eco management though, so I can see with everything going on here. That's not your first priority. There certainly doesn't stop them from assuming some serious map control here and pushing further and further into the enemy base. Not sure why boomers are still holding on there. They haven't really made an effort to cut through the middle either. That could actually... They could turn it around here with some kind of cut through with onagers and get some raids in maybe, but... But right now, we're looking at domination from dying to the war. Hungry for revenge after a 1.5 hour in-game time Arenaception game. Cap trams are in, that's where it stops for the Vietnamese. They don't get siege tram for balance reasons. But yeah, let's just toggle all of the armies here and see that there's 92 units at least total, and there it is. We're moving into a 1-1. Gonna have a decider game on... What was it again? It was... it's going to be... Kawasan for the decider. That should be interesting. It's a much more open map and different from the ones we've had. Paladins. 123 paladins for Padlin, who seems to enjoy the paladins play. Strong performance here. Boomers underestimating the impact of the fish food eco and control on this map, I think. There's also these spots with the gold and stone in the middle. I also think sending 2 players out is meta, and then have the third with a good land eco booming civ. Get the free boom at the backside here. They did start an early trade as well. Let's have a look at the trade returns here. That's economy, maybe. Yeah, that's not much. That's what, considering they'll be trading for 30 minutes. That is not a lot, and that's partly due to the speed nerf of the trade units as well. Looks like Miss Mellis wanted to go into cavalry archers. Got Corvinian army for that, but never got around to massing those. I think the meta should be fast imp on your cut over to the other side. Nah, just kidding. Good game for dying to the board though. Looking forward to the third and decider game of Kawazan. Sox really took a beating there. With the only player on the close to the shoreline. Didn't even make it to the Imperial Age, unfortunately. Moin! Guten Abend. Div 3 after this, indeed. It's the final, and this is the decider game of dying to the dying to the boom. That's not what they did this game, actually. Heads up in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome. Here we go, Kawasang for the decider game. This is much more open than a Reinception and Otisco, arguably. The enable play is going to play a role, but maybe not a huge one. Sense of Otisco hate. Let share its way. Yeah, I think he can handle it. I think he'll be able to handle it. Didn't you guys have a good Otisco game though, Boyne? I'm not sure if I think I casted it. I don't think it was your recommendation even. Alright. SK Gox. Hi, hello. Hoopla changed the color for the occasion. He wants to hide away in the gray here. So we have blue, green, gray, red, purple, orange. Should be distinguishable enough. But let's have a look at the Sibs at work here. Hoopla as the Mayans flank. Pretty classic one. It's seen on Arabia all the time. They have dirt cheap archers as you move on through the games. 10, 20 and 30% discount. And an amazing economy since the resources last 15% longer. Mike Giorgio with the Lithuanians here playing the pocket role, going to go into Paladins and contest the relics, presumably. Actually, where are the relics here? Oh, that's right. On Kabasan, all the relics are in the middle. So it should be fairly easy for the Lithuanians player to snag enough relics to gain an advantage, even if there's a lot going on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Where's the 7th? 7. Yeah. Should be easy enough to contest the relics. Lamala with the Ethiopians. Ethiopians, Mayans flanks. Not to be messed around with, but we have Miss Mellis as the Britons here. Britain's team bonus is... Good luck, boy. Britain's team bonus is archery ranges work 20% faster. Which will obviously benefit the Saracens as well, which will usually go archers for flank. This could be more of a standard meta game that we've seen thus far on the other two maps. And we'll see how it turns out in the end. Good, walling in the small docking villager there, so Saracens player going for a dock to the side as well. Hoopla already scouting it, but not able to snipe that unloomed villager. Saracens archer line units bonus damage against buildings. Could use that to break through palisade walls deceivingly quickly. We of course might see some kind of input to opening as well from either of the flanks here, like a Drush or a Man at Arms. I don't think this is a Drush map necessarily, even though it's somewhat easily walled between the woodlands for some of the players here, but you still have the aspect of the fish to pay attention to. Lava Alarm also walling in the docking villager. Miss Mellis doesn't seem too concerned about it. Meantime, we see a 22 population up here for the Lithuanians. Only 20 villagers, but a little bit of fish as well. Where's the fish? Here it is. Actually, on this map, as the Lithuanians, you could commit to 5 on wood immediately. Might be what Mike Giorgio has done as well, and get a juicy fish boom going nice and early to facilitate a really fast and economically strong castle age. Scouts. Oh, good hit from uphill there for Lam Alarm. Good engagement. Doesn't chase, or does he? I think he's gonna chase for a while. He has the HP advantage here over the Britain's player. Might accidentally find the docking villager as well. You have the elevation advantage, so technically you could snipe the dock villager if you're going for it. I'm just scouting for barracks on the home bases. Here we go. Here's a barracks from the Ethiopian's player. And we have another hit on the scout here as well. So Lava Alarm is going to be led right to the Britain space here, at risk of losing the scout. But... yeah, there we go. Okay. We've all been there. Not paying attention to the scout, chasing the opponent, and then just to be led right into TC Fire and die. Classic. Few legends are popping in here. We should have the scouts in the queue for the Lithuanians. 4 scouts in the queue already, in fact. That's thanks to the fish income and the extra starting food of the Lithuanians facilitating things. Walling up here for Amaranth in the pocket. The Gurjaras pocket, by the way, didn't actually talk about that, but Gurjaras, I can see that being useful here against the Lithuanians. The Gurjaras are definitely a camel civilization and could make good use of that camel mobility to handle the opponent's cavalry pressure. Realistically speaking, though, it's better with the Paladin Arbalest combo than a Camel Arbalest combo, but with the Britain's extra range, maybe it's actually not that simple. Are we seeing the beginnings of a team wall here? Maybe I think there's team wall potential here. Here, and to the lake maybe. Yeah, there's potential for a team wall here. Like 4 lakes, but in this case it's 6 lakes, and they're more centralized than on the corner ones of 4 lakes. 6 fishing ships working for Amaranth here. That's borderline too much here, I think, for the amount of deep fish that you have. But it's certainly going to boost your food income regardless. If you have a look at the resource setup here, the Castle Age Lick should be right around the corner for the Gudjaras player here. Just a tiny bit of food missing. No farms even yet. That's the beauty of good Yaros for you. That's a Castle Age coming in. Don't think Amaranth made scouts at all, which is peculiar to me, but maybe they're confident in their ability to quick wall the aggression out and just allow Amaranth to go straight for the Castle Age. And that's going to be huge, actually, because look at the resource bars here for the green player. That Castle Age is far away, even with the fish food income for Mike Georgiou. The other scouts haven't been getting much value, no kills for that group. There's a bit of fighting for the waters as well. Actually, not on this side, only on the south side pond here, but it's a Lavalarm with the aggression here. Forcing a reaction from Miss Mellis with the Britons, who has lost eco units. I'm assuming that might be the fishing ships and the docking villager maybe over here. And the scout as well. So Britain's player effectively blind here now to dying to the boar's side. Top side, we have the archers out for Hoopla, who could, ironically, use the range of the Wine's archers to snipe fish over here as well. Gas station is in for Amaranth with the Gurjaras. Second TC coming up immediately. Do we have a stable going up? That got denied by the scouts, so now suddenly, okay, I take it back. The scouts investment pays off. Does not get the kill there, but delaying that stable from the Gurjaras, that's huge. That's just huge. Also getting a villager kill there, good snipe. Might be able to see that second TC going up. Not that that's much of a surprise in a team game pocket situation. Yeah, some big villagers there could definitely still get value from the scouts. Mike Georgiou is making the best of it here while waiting for that food income to allow for the Castle Age transition. Three fire galleys, I hope that all really... So this is the thing I often see in maps involving water, or especially the hybrid maps. Just to get an idea of how much you actually need to control the situation. There was a 1-for-1 trade with the fire galleys to begin with, and Lavalarm has been on top of things here. And then just, I do it myself as well, then you just mindlessly queue fire galleys because you think you need more to keep the control. But 5 fire galleys in this little lake here with 1 dock and barely any fish. That's too much. That's overcommitment. That's overproduction, just delaying your transition to the next stage. But it's certainly going to control this pond, and that could be a strategic advantage for later as well. You could have add some war galleys here or something to deny the Britons access to your base from this angle. We have archers running on both sides here, and I'm not sure who is getting the better trades, but boomers, they are falling behind in the army size overall. They've lost one of their ponds as well. And Britain's player losing builders at home as well. I really want to cripple Britons as much as possible here, and Lavalarm is doing a great job at it. I think I'd like to see him keep moving on to the gold as well to deny the gold. See villagers being relocated there, but that is 13 eco units down from Miss Mellis. That transition to the Castle Age, that's going to be a while away yet. Danish player about to reach the next age. That earlier Castle Age for the Gurjaras not really working out perfectly here. Should, of course, ideally have an eco lead over the green player red. Look at the fish being drained here as well. The villager count is actually ahead for Mike Giorgio, which tells me that Amaranth has had more idle time overall. So better eco management from the dying to the war pocket here. I think that market is to keep the crossbows of Hoopla out here, but there's still an opening on the gold here, so I'm not too sold. Okay, we're gonna see another market drop here. There we go. Market walls from the Saracens. You can do that because the market costs only 75 wood. But these are crossbows. They have Bodkin arrow in. They have 7 range total. They should still be able to reach the builders behind the walls. And given the amount of crossbows here, you'd also be able to break the market here. Castlish is in for the Saracens, but what's the army number like here? They're somewhat tied in numbers. Still, doesn't look like Sox will be able to afford both Bodkin Arrow and, well, could use the market actually. But crossbow is the only thing coming in here. Arguably, Bodkin Arrow is more important because it gives that extra attack. Oh, dive in! Go in! Go in! Still no Bodkin. Check the upgrades. Dive in. Oh, the communication isn't too good here between green and grey. Crossbows and knights should definitely be engaging together here. That's still some good rates, but not nearly good enough to as compared to how it could be with the crossbows. Together with the crossbows, these knights are going to be wasted. I'm looking at the crossbow aggression from Lambalang, though the Ethiopians really outplaying the Britons here. Britons still stuck in the feudal age, forced into defensive towers, just about to have enough food to go to the cast age. But what's that going to give when you don't have any armies to benefit from it? There goes the tower as well, there goes more villagers. Miss Melis lost 17 eco units, about to beat 20. And this might be the shortest game of the set out of the best of 3. Hello, Mr. Beaver. Looks like Hoopla thinks this Saracens here is going to take out the Saracens archery ranger. You know, obsidian arrows isn't a thing anymore, Hoopla, right? This is gonna take you forever. What I was going to check was the relic count of the Lithuanians. Might just even drop a monastery in the middle for faster collection of them. But where is that relic? I'm blind. No relics yet for the Lithuanians. Okay, back to the fights. Yeah, it was a fun technology. Two defensive mangonels now from Sox, and it's also done a great job at preserving the crossbow numbers here, rebuilding the range, using the market to the best of its ability to be able to mass these units. And the knights numbers of Mike Giorgio, that's not the craziest actually. For now, will the knights be on? They're gonna get 1 mangonel here, maybe 2. That's huge. That's huge if the Lithuanians get that. But again, the crossbows are out of position, unfortunately. This could have been a much better fight again if the coordination was even better between the two. Are they thinking about trade already? They're walling off a bit here. There's a market. That's been there all the time actually, but yeah, definitely the potential to start an early trade. Hoopla even added the fire galley over here to take out that little fish food income from Sox, and the overall score for Dying to the Boar is looking very convincing now. I think the Kurjaras player should have, or would have benefited more from well, from going for scouts here rather than straight FC. Oh, but here are the Shirivamsa riders. They have the ability to dodge attacks, and they're really fast as well. 176, ridiculous speed. That must be why the arena players like them so much over light cap and stuff, because they have the ability to outrun monks. Miss Mel is relocating here for a potential reboot. 19 villagers though, really far behind here. The overall score not too discomforting here. Some Gujaros camels out and about here, but I think we need to double up on the Shreivamshas here if you are Amaranth. That would really benefit the fights against the crossbow masses of the Mayans here. Could work together with the Saracens, and the Lithuanians cavalry count not too crazy just yet. Looks like some of the relics have been captured here. There's 4 relics left. 2 relics for the Lithuanians now. It certainly boosts the attack output of the knights. They now have 10+3. Fox's goals were very unfortunate. There's a back gold over here though. Unless that's a neutral one. But yeah, these are horrible. Horrible golds. Beautiful castle to deny them as well. Mayans now at 66 crossbows and counting. Thambring coming in as well will have faster firing rate than the Saracens, presumably. Yeah, no Thambring for the Saracens yet. TC for Britain's reboot mode going on for the orange player here, but losing production capabilities. Still going to be a long while before the orange player can contribute in to the benefit of the team here. Red is indeed holding very well. Red is conserving the army numbers. And I guess that's the power of the Saracen market, because we're only at 2 TCs here, and we're still almost keeping up with the Mayans. Good mangonel shot there. Will need to decide whether to take the builders, but opts for the army instead. And now this is going to be a devastating fight for Red, unfortunately. Blue is going Imperial Age. If I'm going to guess, Blue is still going to keep pushing Orange, but that's just a one-sided approach to things, that you get hung up on one player and forget that there's a pocket of work as well that could be doing big things. But look at the pocket economies here. It's 59 to 75 economy units, and the army number is also ahead for the Lithuanians. Castle actually isn't complete yet for some reasons, probably because of the crossbows meddling in over here. But there's lots of armies to defend here. I don't know why Hoopla is not completing it, maybe misclicked or something. Hoopla is also ready to click Imperial Age here with the Mayans. That means that these 60 plus crossbows will all become arbalists with Bracer. I was very confused why I couldn't click up. Yeah, you're missing the second building. In fact, missing 2 buildings. Where's your ballistics, Hoopla? You have 66 crossbows and no ballistics. Where's your university? You don't like education or what? I always forget the universities myself, so I can't really flame anyone for doing so. Forward castle from the Britons, the Ethiopians now, and Arbalest, the Arbalest keeping it up as well. The castle's complete second in-your-face castle from Hoopla as well. It's just as if to rub it in, and we'll have to congratulate Dying to the Boar on the reverse sweep at the 2-1, sending them to the 6th division final. GG, well played. Great set. Very good set. (107 to 22). That's some ridiculous KD for Lamadarm. They're probably meeting a... if I'm going to guess, it's a bit of an elo gap between these two, but we'll have to check that with rank. But it's just something about the action and reaction. It seemed like Lamadar was dominating with the Ethiopians against the Britons there. That's the away map of Dying to the Boar, actually. This cover sounds, they're really putting up a show here. I have to have a look at the APM here as well. Some quality knight and crossbow micro over here. GG's.